Every morning for the past week, a woman found a German shepherd sitting silently at her door, staring with an intensity that made her both curious and uneasy. Its eyes told a story, a deep sadness that tugged at her heart, yet it never barked or growled, just sat there, waiting. She tried shooing it away, but it would return the next morning, unmoving and unrelenting. Finally, she decided to investigate. What she discovered would not only break her heart, but change her life forever. Before we dive into this incredible story of loyalty, heartbreak, and redemption, let us know where you're watching from. If you love stories like these, subscribe to the channel, because tomorrow we have another special story waiting for you. And now, back to the story that will leave you speechless. Every morning, Emma found a German shepherd sitting silently at her front door, staring with an intensity that made her uneasy. Its eyes were filled with something unspoken, sadness perhaps, or a plea. It never barked or begged for food, just sat there like a sentinel, unmoving. Days passed and the dog's persistence gnawed at her curiosity. When she finally stepped outside to approach it, the dog didn't flinch. It simply stared back, as though waiting for her to take the next step. When she placed food and water near it, the dog ate sparingly, then returned to its post by her door. Something wasn't right, and she could feel it in her bones. One morning the pattern broke. Emma found the dog at her door again, but this time it wasn't alone. A bundle lay beside it, wrapped in a ragged blanket. Emma's heart raced as she moved closer, only to discover it was a baby, cold, weak, but alive. Shocked, she took the infant inside and tried to calm her trembling hands. Outside, the dog whined softly and pawed at the ground, as if urging her to follow. Against her better judgment, Emma obeyed. The dog led her to an alley where it uncovered a battered duffel bag. Inside were photos, documents, and a map of her neighborhood. The photos sent chills down her spine. They were of her, taken over several years. Someone had been watching her, and somehow the dog and the baby were tied to it. Emma's confusion deepened when a man appeared, claiming to know why the baby was left with her. His name was Daniel, and he explained that he had rescued the child from an organization conducting unethical experiments. They were now hunting him, the baby, and anyone connected to them, Emma included. Before she could process his words, black SUVs roared into view, and the chase began. Daniel drove recklessly to evade their pursuers, while Emma clutched the baby, terrified. Max, the German shepherd, ran alongside the car, seemingly unfazed by the danger. As the SUVs closed in, Max made a daring move. He leapt into the path of the lead vehicle, forcing it to swerve off the road and crash into a tree. The dog's selfless act bought them precious time, but it came at a cost. Emma screamed as she saw Max lying motionless on the roadside. Despite Daniel's protests, she insisted on going back for him. They found the dog alive but gravely injured. With tears streaming down her face, Emma helped Daniel lift Max into the car, vowing not to leave him behind. With their pursuers temporarily out of sight, Emma and Daniel pressed on. The baby slept soundly in her arms, and Max rested weakly beside her, his eyes occasionally fluttering open to meet hers. Daniel revealed that the organization believed Emma held a key to their experiments, something buried in her past that even she didn't know. Though overwhelmed, Emma was resolute. She looked at Max, who had risked everything to protect her, and the baby who had been thrust into her care. Whatever lay ahead, she knew she couldn't turn back now. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about uncovering the truth and protecting the innocent lives that had become entwined with hers. The story has reached its conclusion, leaving Emma, Max, and Daniel in a precarious but hopeful place. Their journey is far from over, with mysteries still to uncover and dangers looming ahead. Yet, through their shared determination and loyalty, they've found a glimmer of hope in the chaos.